In this video, I'm going to go over the things that you can do to actually create creatives that convert. And more specifically, we're going to create creatives that your customers actually want to see. And this especially applies for products that are more expensive than a cheaper alternative that you can find in pretty much any niche. But this is most important for the more expensive products. Images that look nice are not enough anymore. Yes, you still need professional photography, but them just looking nice isn't enough. You really need to showcase the pain points that they solve for the customer. Now, I understand that is a very common cliche thing to say in the entrepreneurial space, but a lot of listings are not going to do it. And I'm going to show you a live example today. So which specific features, solutions, or pain points should you address specifically? Oftentimes, it's not the one that you might think it is. Sometimes it is if you have a really good pulse on what your customers want, but oftentimes it can be something else. I'm going to actually show you examples. So which one is it? Well, you can actually find all of this information on your own listing if you have a lot of reviews, or on your competitor listings. And we're going to scrape them using Helium 10, and you can analyze them in less than 5 minutes using ChatGPT. And if you do it right, you will be able to create creatives that actually convert because they showcase what people want. My name is Zane. I'm from SellerMetrics. We spend up to $3 million every single month on ad spend for our clients. We are constantly testing and optimizing our strategy to create new creatives and PPC strategies. Okay, I'm going to show you 2 listings. And without me even telling you, I bet you can tell which one is more expensive and the better listing, so to speak. Here is the first one. We're now in my screen. Here's the first product that I'm going to discuss. It's Face Roller. It's a very common product, very saturated. Don't really recommend going into this category if you aren't already in it and you're looking to put a new product out. Don't pick this one. But nonetheless, here is a product. This is the main image. This is the second product. This is the main image. Now, which one looks nicer? This one. Now, I would say this one is still the top rated in the category because of its price likely, and they probably got to the page a lot earlier. Potentially, they have a lot more reviews, but at the end of the day, they're still the exact same product. There's not really much difference other than the color and branding. So how is it that this person is able to charge 20 bucks? I guess the real listing price is 25 bucks, and this one is charging only $16 as a regular list pricing, or $10 right now. It makes you think, if they're the same thing, why would anyone pay more? And yet they do. So this is where the real differences come in of how you create your pictures for your Amazon listing. So let's look at the main image here. So this one costs more, but I think it all looks so much better. So they got branded. They have their packaging. The packaging looks great. The word beauty by Earth is probably really reflective of what this kind of type of product would stand for and what kind of values people would have. And it also says Jade Roller. Okay. And plus the actual handle is branded as well. And the fact that they call it Jade Roller and the color green is there, it kind of just is very in line with everything that it stands for. Okay. Now let's look at this product. Also green, Jade Rollers, but they have the product packaging as well. And it does look nice. Don't get me wrong. The product packaging is fine, but it doesn't have keywords like Jade Roller. So in general, it doesn't actually optimize for Rufus too well, because Rufus is also reading the Amazon listings as much as they are looking at the images. And so right off the hop, even as you're a customer scrolling this, I think this is a more scroll stopper because people don't really read titles until they've seen enough of the images first. And so when they see Jade Roller right on the first image, I think it's more of a scroll stopper than this one. Let's go to the second image, okay? So second image, this one is beautiful, and second image for this one is kind of hard to look at. I think that in the second image on this one, there's way too much text, all over the place, and the text is really tiny. If I don't zoom in, it's kind of hard to read. Second, the text only shows sort of the features. Use on cheeks, forehead. Now let's look at the second picture of this. Look what it actually does. It's solving a pain point. It reduces puffiness, promotes circulation, soothes skin, enhances glow. No one is just buying the product for the sake of using it on their face. That's not what they care about. They care about what it does to the face, right? And so I think right away, these guys have done this image way better. Now let's look at the third image. Again, it's a nice picture, kind of has a branded vibe to it. It certainly gives it a vibe, right? It's got kind of the jade rock, very earthy, very fresh kind of feel. Let's look at this one. It's a lifestyle image of a person actually using it. And then they add additional effects or capabilities of this product. Pairs well with serums or moisturizer. Enhances absorption. So enhances absorption is the benefit. And then pairs with serums or moisturizers is a feature. Safe for all skin types. Right away, a benefit. So no matter who you are, you can buy this thing. And I actually really like this one. I don't use Jade Rollers, but this sounded really nice to me. Refrigerate for a cooling effect or warm for pore care. So that right there, it plants an image in your mind, right? And this can be applied to basically all sell these images. This one shows why they should buy this specific item. I think this image would have been better earlier, but nonetheless, the point is this listing versus this listing is clear differences on how they position their product. One showcases all of the benefits for it, and that's why they are able to charge more and they still get sales. Now, granted, this one does make more money overall, but I honestly think they've just been around for a longer time and they are cheaper, so a lot of people get this. But unless you have that scale of economy, you won't be able to charge this price, $10. Like these are probably a Chinese, I mean, based on the name, they're a Chinese supplier for sure. And based on this name, they may not be. The point is, how do we actually design these images to address the pain points that they're supposed to solve, right? And showcase those pain points and those solutions in our images. Well, this is where Helium 10 comes in. Helium 10 has this beautiful feature called Review Insights. It extracts reviews for buyer sentiment analysis, right? And basically we're going to run this through ChatGPT to do the actual analysis, and I'm going to show you the prompt. So what we do is we click fetch review and data, and it shows you all of them here. And we do export table. Okay. So when you export the table, this is what it kind of looks like. Okay. It gives you the reviews, whether they're verified, helpful. I guess helpful is based on what other people describe it as. So the title of the review and the body and the rating they gave, images, URL, all that stuff, right? So what we want to do now is run this through ChatGPT to identify the pain points people mention the most, the features that address those pain points, and the kind of the emotional sentiment around what makes it work. With that kind of information, you can design images so much better. Before I go into ChatGPT, if you like this kind of content, make sure you like and subscribe. And we kind of post this stuff every week, trying to share with you guys everything that we use to be successful in the Amazon space so that you can be successful yourself. So we have the data. Now let's talk about the prompt before I actually upload it to ChatGPT. This is the prompt here. Okay. And yes, we will provide this in the link in the description below. You can get it completely for free. We just ask for your email. What we do is you are a world-class audience analyst who helps companies analyze customer data. You are particularly skilled in analyzing product review data and extracting insights about customer preferences and sentiments. What you want to do is kind of prime the chat to understand its role, and that's what this does. Based off the review data I gave you, analyze the reviews for the product and then extract the main use cases, customer aspirations, or problems they are trying to solve with the product. The reviews are for a face roller. Provide a list of up to 20 use cases, customer aspirations, or problem. Count the number of times each topic is mentioned and order each use cases, customer aspirations, or problems in a descending order based off of the number of times it has been mentioned. Provide the list in a 4-column table. The first column, identify use case, aspirations, or problems that you have extracted from the data. In the second column, a bullet point with a summary of the problem or use case or aspiration in context with which reviews have mentioned. Be specific about what features they refer to, what they like about the feature, and the emotional adjectives they use to describe it. And in the third column, frequency of mentions. Count the number of mentions and present it as a numerical value. So let's actually copy this, the primer. Let's go to ChatGPT. Then we're going to upload the data. So it clearly understands it. This appears to be a data set of customers' reviews for Jade Roller facial product, likely pulled from Amazon. It understands the context perfectly. Okay. You can actually have a conversation with it. Cool. So now it knows everything that we want it to do. So now let's actually copy and paste this prompt into ChatGPT. So while that analyzes, you got to make sure that even though you have the right images, they may not be as impactful if you don't get them in front of the right people. Now, to get them in front of the right people, what you need to do is run proper PPC campaigns. And you can learn all about PPC campaigns in this book we have here called Ultimate Guide to Amazon Ads, Advanced Tactics, and Best Practices. It's the exact same book that I use to run my launch campaigns, my ongoing campaigns, and everything we do for our clients, spending, close to $3 million every single month. So if you want a copy of that, you can actually get it completely for free by clicking the link in the description below. But let's get to the analysis here. This is the output it gave. So it kind of breaks down what kind of data it's working with. It also mentioned the top themes and keywords, which is awesome. Obviously these keywords you must include somehow in some way, shape, or form. But let's look at the table it created. Here we go. Cold therapy for enhanced effect. So people obviously love the cold therapy feature by putting it into the fridge. Now let's go back to the listings that we actually analyzed. So these guys identified the kind of cold therapy right here: refrigerate for a cooling effect or warm for poor care. Not once in this listing did they mention it at all. But I have to go looking for that, right? Whereas it's in the third image of this listing. So right then and there, that is a really good thing to include. So some people mentioned that the roller breaks or falling apart. So you guys can mention like a stronger quality, daily skincare routine. Okay. So this is really good information right here. Many integrate it into their morning or nightly skincare ritual, add structure and calm to their self-care habits. So you can definitely showcase that in some image, right? Easy to use. You can also include that in the images. Targeted under eye treatment. So that's very interesting. Specific mention of using smaller end around the eyes to reduce puffiness and soothe tired eyes. So it helps absorb skincare product. Like it's all, the information is so kind of laid out here. And the thing is that a lot of people don't do this. Like even look at this, like these guys could be increasing their price if they wanted, but they're not, because they can't, because they just don't showcase their product. So another product that is exactly the same when you think about it is selling for more, just because they present themselves so much better. This is not the end of it, guys. There's so much more you can do with this incredible tool that is ChatGPT. This analysis doesn't stop there. What I would also suggest is continue the conversation. You can ask it other things, right? So for example, I've given you some examples in this prompt right here. Not all of these apply to every single product. It really depends on what kind of product you're selling. But for example, was the material mentioned? What emotional words did they use to describe it? What, where, and what location was the product most used if mentioned in the reviews? Tell me the count of how many times it was mentioned in the use in each location. What did people say about the price? Did anyone wish for additional features? All of these questions are amazing to ask because ChatGPT can kind of grab that information in no time. So let's ask ChatGPT, where and what location was the product used, most used if mentioned in the reviews, and tell me the count of how many times it was mentioned in use in each location. So let's see what it comes up with. So this doesn't tell me where it was used, but rather where it was placed. So a lifestyle image, because people really value the cold therapy clearly. So you can have an image that shows a person putting the jade roller in the fridge and label it cold therapy. It's clearly something that people like. And the whole point of optimizing images is to showcase the person using it. That's what you want the person imagining it. You don't want to make it hard for them to think about that. And we have even less time than we've had ever before because of the scrolling nature of how people shop now. People use social media like that too. So we have very little time to capture someone's attention and keep them hooked. And so showing the right images, making them have to think very little is very, very important. But that's it for this video, guys. Understanding how to use ChatGPT, understanding how to have a proper chat and prompt it properly is definitely one hell of a skill set, but definitely something to develop, especially if you are kind of a small company. It just magnifies the capability of your company. But this is what we use to optimize our images. And I know it can be very, very helpful for you guys. And if you want more help on scaling your business from 6 figures to 7 or 5 figures to 6 figures, you can book a strategy call with us in the link in the description below. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope it was helpful. And until next week, guys, have a great day and happy selling.